That was one thing that really struck me, was the speed of which the streets became vacant. Times Square, Abbey Road, these are areas that are always teeming with people. The Temple Bar area in Dublin, there's always folks there, day, night, always. It's significant, and I've never seen anything like it, having this global network of cameras. And, especially after 9/11, everywhere in New York was really quiet, and it was similar, but it wasn't to this extent, and certainly globally, it wasn't anything like what we're experiencing now. Our purpose is better lives through visual information. So what better than giving this visual information to people to help them in a time like this explore the planet, feel comfort in the fact that the world's still out there. We're all going to get back out there. You can still go there. You can still go sit on a beach virtually and experience things that you will hopefully be able to experience very soon again in real life.
This calm is allowing us to appreciate the beauty of the city, but of course, a city without citizen is not a real city. It's like just a postcard, something unbelievable, something amazing, but something also unreal, no? Because citizens are the soul of the city. And we are an hotel, so hotel cannot exist without tourists. Especially Venice, because 90% of the tourists are also international tourists. There is a lot of uncertainty in town about how we are supposed to reopen, because I think it's quite difficult to welcome guests with masks, with temperature control, and with distances, no?
So since lockdown came into force on the 23rd of March, we've had about 20 times as many visitors to our webcams page that we would expect at this time of the year. Well, we already know that people feel happier and healthier when they're connected with nature, but at a time like this, when we're more isolated from the people that we're closest to, spending that time connecting with wildlife through the screen can actually help to make you feel a lot better in yourself. And they're like the most addictive soap operas, really. You get to know the characters, you get to know the individual badgers, the barn owls, the puffins, and you just want to keep going back and getting to know them even better. So it can really help to soothe our souls at the moment.
I think the extraordinary thing that this pandemic has shown is, one is that, again, we're all in it together. This is a global crisis. As indeed is the climate and ecological crisis. Nearly everyone, we've changed our lives. You have people who are frontline workers in your family, who are people who are obviously suffering, but also there are changes to the lives which may be for the better. So, for example, you might actually spend more time with your family. You might spend a little less time commuting, and indeed you might connect more to nature on your doorstep. Now, all of that are qualities and emotions and experiences which I think somehow we'll need to capture when we do emerge.
I kind of akin it to a Sunday morning. I've been working shifts for 15 odd years, and Sunday morning is always that kind of that easy time you can just take stock and then catch up with a lot of backlog of things, because there's not much else going on, and that's what we're seeing most days at the moment. Because there's less traffic as well, speeds have gone up slightly, because normally in central London you maybe get 5-10 miles an hour if you're lucky. The accidents we're getting are more serious, kind of damage wise. We've got a balcony up on the 7th floor here. You go up there for a cup of coffee, and you can hear the birds tweeting, you can hear the odd rumble of the odd train, but that's it, and it's very peculiar. This is London. This shouldn't be like this. It should be hustle bustle, horns, sirens, everything going off, trains rumbling past. But unnerving in a way.
And especially during this crisis, a lot of people from their home are curious what's going on in the next city or in the opposite side of the world. People use it as a virtual window. And construction site saves the person of the office travel time, and that will not change after the crisis is over, because they got accustomed to the fact that they can watch remotely and so no longer need to be in traffic for 1 or 2 hours. And we have seen an increase of requests for once this crisis is over, the regulations will change, and of course a theater or cinema needs to take precautions. And one of the precautions now is install thermal cameras. And a thermal camera is because our body has a temperature, 37 degrees to 36.5. You will see the difference between a sick person and a not sick person.
You know, we get hundreds of people watching, you know, because they'd like to watch the streets, you know, people walking by, and I guess they look like, you know, like people watching, but from their home. And unfortunately, obviously, the bars and stuff are closed in Thailand now, so, you know, we don't really get that many views to it now because there's nothing for people to watch. But the one that's getting the most attention now is it's called SAMUI Yacht Club, and it's like a view of the sea. Some people write and say, you know, they find it very relaxing. They put it on in the background and they just like to hear the sea noise and stuff.